So we're going to start with the basics, everybody. We're going to assume that you know nothing about IRAs and checkbook IRAs and self-directed IRAs. So what we're calling this and what we offer today, we're talking about today, is the crypto control self-directed IRA using the checkbook model. And I'm going to go into that more in detail. But there are, in short, most of the people in the world, if they know about retirement plans, they know about IRAs, but they don't know what a self-directed IRA is. And regular IRA, and about 99% of the 20 trillion or so dollars that Americans have in retirement funds are in regular non-self-directed IRAs or 401ks, retirement plans. And that means they can invest in all types of stocks and bonds and mutual funds, but and those are publicly traded things you can get on Wall Street, like Fidelity and Schwab, but they can't invest in things like cryptocurrencies, like real estate, like hedge funds, and all these things, this whole world of alternative investments. That's what, in our world, self-directed means, the ability to go off of Wall Street into things that are called alternative investments. And we're going to learn that there's two basic models, a checkbook model and a custodial model. And what we're going to discuss and what you're going to want to do for the crypto is going to be the checkbook model. And that's why today's webinar is titled The Crypto Control Self-Directed IRA Using the Checkbook IRA Model. Okay, I have to feel this twice. Yeah. So welcome, everybody. So not only you, but most of our clients, when they come to us, they know what they want to invest in. Some want to invest in real estate, some want to invest in crypto, and they know how to buy and sell real estate, crypto, whatever it is. What they didn't know is that they could do that now with an IRA. And that's really what we're offering today, this vehicle. We're not offering the content. We're not offering the investment advice. We're not telling you which cryptos to invest in, when to buy, when to sell. We're telling you, though, if you know what to do and how to do it, here's a way that you can do it now with IRA funds. And that's a new thing for most people. And we're going to also learn about, there are different ways to do it, but the one that gives you the most options and the one that's really the only option for crypto and holding the private keys is an IRA LLC with full checkbook control. As we move on here. So who am I? So you see me over there, Mr. Broad Financial. My name is Jeff Astor. I've been with Broad Financial since 2013. Actually, this April will be 10 full years, a whole decade. It's hard to believe. I was one of the first 10 people at Broad Financial. We did not have a marketing team or a webinar service. Now we're pushing between Broad Financial and our sister company, Madison Trust. We're pushing about 60, 70 people. So it's been really wonderful to be part of the ground up here in this company. At this point, anybody that was here before me, they've moved on or whatever. So I'm now the longest standing employee at Broad Financial. With that privilege, back in 2017, I wrote the book, as you see there on the screen, the Self-Directed IRA. Just want to show you the side here. It's a very skinny book because it's, as it says, as it's advertised, it's talking about these self-directed plans in plain English. It's very interesting. Basically, by 2017, I'd been doing this 4 years or so. And one Sunday afternoon, I said, you know what? I know these things in my sleep almost. And when I talk to people, I say it, I've done this. Really, I've talked to people 20,000 times, literally over this period. And so in 2017, I said, you know what? Let me just go. I actually came to the office on a Sunday and I closed the door. And for 6 hours, I planned, I outlined, and I wrote. And basically I wrote 95% of the book. Some people edited and tweaked it afterwards, but it was basically done in one afternoon. And I think that's what people tell me, that the book reads very smoothly and well. It's a page turner, as you might not think that IRAs are interesting, but it does turn pages, because I think I did this in one afternoon, and I'm basically saying and putting down and writing things that I've always been saying to people. So that's me. It's got 150 plus, positive reviews, and it is a helpful thing. And as much as I can talk with a person on the phone, or if you here today, the webinar, the book is always very helpful. And you'll see it's not only about crypto, but that is certainly one of the asset classes you can invest in. Excuse me here. Let's move on. So let's first, what is the self-directed IRA? So I already basically gave it away. It's a self-directed IRA. Now, by the way, you'll find, I just spoke to a guy this morning, a self-directed IRA is, you'll find that a Fidelity, a Schwab, they say, you can self-direct with our IRA. But what they mean by self-directed is the ability to invest in different stocks and bonds and mutual funds, unlike a Vanguard, which gives you a limited amount. But that, for us, that's very small. We mean something much bigger than stocks and bonds and mutual funds. And as I discussed, these are called alternative investments. And here's some examples of things that are called alternative investments. Real estate, and the truth is we were selling, before the crypto, I'd say, craze in 2017, we were involved, we sold more real estate than anything else, plans that people using for real estate. And that was 75% of our business. But even then, it wasn't the only thing. People were investing in startup companies, in notes and loans. Until 2017, people were doing a lot with precious metals. That was a very big category. And the IRS says, you'll see, you can invest in everything but collectibles and life insurance, which is essentially almost anything. I've had people, our clients, myself, invest in Arabian racehorses. I remember having a long conversation. I learned a lot about Arabian racehorses. And then there's other racehorses that are for polo. I had a client sign up for that. But besides horses, I had a guy sign up for an LLC that tracks the social media rankings of 360 supermodels. Don't ask me how that works, but he wanted a plan to do that. He could do it. I had another fellow that actually bought an island in the Caribbean, and he rents it out to wealthy yacht goers for a fee, and his 401k IRA is collects the profit, total tax protected. So it's really everything in the world but collectibles and life insurance. Collectibles are things like artwork and antique cars and gold before 1933. Those things are off limits no matter what. And certain types of life insurance are off limits, but everything else is in play. And we've got people really doing this all in play. And even real estate overseas, I wanted to mention, people have been, every week I'm talking to somebody that wants to use the plan to buy real estate, let's say in Mexico or Belize or Costa Rica or India, or New Zealand even. So we're all over the world with our plans. So question number one here. Now, question number one, what is a checkbook IRA? As I mentioned, there are fundamentally two different types of self-directed IRA models, a custodial model and a checkbook model. Just to read the screen here, it's a way of using IRA money to invest without the need of a custodian for everyday transactions. The most common type of, this typo there, of checkbook IRAs uses, the most common type of checkbook IRA uses an LLC as the vehicle to give checkbook control. So what that means is that every IRA needs a custodian. That's an IRS required middle party. So the IRS knows basically where a person's retirement funds were and where they are, when they're going to be, and then they depend upon the custodian to report to them. But a checkbook IRA is a really great idea. Rather than having, and we offer the custodial plan version of things where the money sits with the custodian, but the checkbook IRA, where through the creation of a specialized LLC, you get to move, or tell us to move your funds out of the custodian into your own hands, either at a bank if you want to do things like real estate, or onto a crypto exchange, as we'll see, if you want to do crypto. But this custodian is involved, but they're not on the transaction level. The day-to-day, you can buy all the real estate you want, pay your bills, you can buy all the crypto you want, and you have nothing to do with the custodian. That's a tremendous advantage for lots of reasons. And we'll see in the crypto world, it has to do with flat fees and choice of exchanges, as well as holding the private keys. That's not something you get with the custodian model. We'll go more into that. What is an IRA LLC? So how do you create a checkbook model? Checkbook model meaning, how do you get your money out of the custodian's hands into your own hands? The most popular way is creating an LLC, a limited liability company. Now, each state has their own LLC, and we've made these in all 50 states. But the LLC that we create is what I call a specialized LLC. It has a special language and structure that allows it to hold IRA funds. If you or someone or us tried to move IRA funds into a regular LLC, it would be taxed and penalized by the IRS. You can't do this. I often get this question, Jeff, I have an LLC, why can't I use that? And the reason is it's not an IRA LLC. It's not something that you control, that has the special language that's IRS compliant. But the basic, you'll see here, there's a few times, the basic mechanics, as you see on the screen there, of the IRA LLC is your IRA purchases the new LLC. You open a checking account at the bank of your choosing in the name of the LLC. You are the manager of the LLC. Your IRA is the owner of it, then you're the manager. For crypto, then you take another step and you open up the LLC at an exchange. We'll flesh this out a little bit more. That's for the IRA. Why is an IRA LLC? One second here. Great for investing in cryptocurrency. So you got the 3 C's: choice, cost, and control. Choice in IRA LLC gives you freedom to buy crypto on all major exchanges. This is a big difference. I was just talking to Jazzy before this call here. She's learned that there are other ones out there but they're giving you a limited number of coins. They give you a certain platform and you can only choose from that. With ours, we'll see that it's a big difference between a platform and we're offering you a vehicle to take your IRA LLC over to the major exchanges, which we'll get into as well. So you can basically own all the major exchanges with the IRA LLC. Number two advantage of it, the cost. You avoid all the asset-based fees. When you go with one of these custodial plans, they're charging you a fee every time you buy and sell in addition to whatever fees there may be in an exchange. And often they're very exorbitant. You don't have with an IRA LLC. With IRA LLC, there's no asset-based fees. You trade, you pay whatever the exchange charges. Broad Financial does not charge you a penny for trading and all these there's transactions, and then there's asset-based fees. We're also not charging you whether you have $1 or $1 billion. The fees are flat. It has nothing to do with the asset value. That's it's an IRA killer that people only find that too late, unfortunately, that if you're being charged on the amount of money in there, when crypto goes up, and I had this call, a lot of these calls, when crypto goes up, people are thrilled that they're making money, but they're horrified that now we're paying maybe a couple $100 a year. Now they're paying a couple $1,000s a year because the crypto went up 10 times. So you don't want asset-based fees. It kills it. Even if you're making a lot of money in the crypto, the asset-based fee is one of the IRA killers, and there's a lot more to it than that. But in a checkbook plan, your costs are flat, they're low, and there are no asset-based fees or transaction fees. Number 3C is control. We're going to talk more about this control of the private keys and why this is so important if you're not already familiar with it. Most people that are in the crypto world don't need to be convinced why holding the private keys is important, but that's the third C, and we're going to get more into that. Why is controlling the private key? We're going to get into it right now. Private key important. Security, flexibility, interest. So all the cold storage options are available, including Ledger Nano and the Treasure. And these are like little USB sticks that you can purchase and put your crypto onto. All the crypto has to be bought on an exchange, a Coinbase, a Kraken, for instance. The exchanges, if you just buy it there and leave it there, it's on the exchange's wallet. Essentially, a wallet is a software program that holds the crypto. But if the exchange is hacked, then you're out. You've lost your crypto. When you put it into one of these cold storage wallets, now you're in control of it, and you don't have to worry about being hacked. So that's the advantage of the Ledger and the Nano, the Treasure, and there are others. The ability to choose your security option. By the way, if you wanted to go leave your coins on Coinbase, you could do it. If you wanted to do it into some storage, major storage company where they hold it, you can do that as well. The point is that by controlling the private keys, you control where you want to put your crypto once they're purchased, and that means you choose the best security option. Flexibility. Many of our clients, they buy the crypto and they really want to go into the whole world of decentralized exchanges. This was very popular until maybe the crash of 2022, but it's still getting calls about it, and it probably will become popular again. The whole world of decentralized exchanges. And many people are using their crypto to put it in a place where they're staking or earning interest. So these are some of the things that are only available with a checkbook control plan, which is a plan with the LLC, which is the one we're talking about today. So not to scare anyone, but in case you didn't know, we've been getting a lot of calls since the infamous FTX hack, which at this point was just a couple of months ago. And that means FTX was an exchange that had billions of dollars of cryptos of people, and it's still unclear exactly what happened, but apparently it was stolen or moved or whatever. And lots of people lost about at least $8 billion worth of crypto was stolen or lost. And that means that it was on the exchange. That's because the individuals did not choose to take it off the exchange and into one of these cold storage wallets. So they lost out because they didn't take advantage. And some of them didn't have a choice because they went through some custodian, for instance. So that's a real clear reason. We started getting FTX blew up. The news was in the news how all this terrible things were happening. And people were asking, oh my goodness, Jeff, what's happening with your business? It's going to be a big problem for your crypto business. Turns out it was a big boom because now we started looking like, where can I get my crypto off of the exchanges, even at Coinbase? And if you know what's in the news these days, there's still problems, suspicions and problems with certain underlying companies related to even the major exchanges like Coinbase. Bottom line is that the idea of moving your crypto off of an exchange into the cold storage wallet is an idea that that if you don't know about it, it really is to your benefit to learn about it. And if you know about it, you really don't have to be sold on the value of it. I just want to say one last thing here is that that middle article there, hackers steal 36 million in crypto from self-directed platform. We have a competitor who does things a little different than us. They also have an LLC, but the way they structure it, they're only with one custodian, and their clients there was an extra step that we don't do. With us, we never touch your crypto, we never touch your money. It's completely in your hands. But this other competitor did have this step, and because of that, they were hacked, and $36 million of clients' IRA crypto was stolen. I got lots of calls that week, and lots of people moved over, whatever, who didn't have money stolen or had money left over, learned that the hard way that there are differences between self-directed IRA companies. And, again, that would not happen with us, because we never at any point hold your crypto. We never control it. If you ask us to control it, we'll say no, because it's not something we do in any way, shape, or form. This other competitor did, and their clients suffered for it. Okay. Now, so let's just summarize here some of the ideas of LLC features. Start on the left. Unlimited choice of coins. You choose from all the world's cryptocurrencies. Number 2, unlimited security options. You hold the keys. You choose the wallet. Number 3, unlimited exchanges. I mean, you need to find an exchange, we'll talk about this, that allows you to open up an LLC in what's called an institutional account. And most major exchanges do that. All the American ones do. So that's what you'll need, but you can open it up at an exchange. They're the major exchanges. Unlimited transactions. With us, you buy and sell crypto as you normally would, but inside a tax sheltered IRA, you buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell if you want. Not a penny. There's no capital gains, no short-term capital gains, no long-term capital gains. It's all tax sheltered. Number 4, low flat rate setup fee and low flat rate maintenance fees. Others charge asset-based fees for setup, maintenance, and storage. Again, the flat fees is a very big advantage here. Number 5, second to last, invest not only in cryptocurrencies, but in real estate and other alternative investments. A lot of times people call me up, Jeff, I'm at this other place and I want to move my crypto over to you, but can I also do real estate? Can I do private companies? Yeah, absolutely. It's all built into our IRA LLC structure. You don't pay a penny extra for that. We don't have to change any wording. It's all automatically a natural part of the IRA LLC. And the last advantage here is that you can, and this is a common question, can you do it with Roth or traditional? Traditional funds are funds where you pay, you take your money, you put it into an IRA, it's tax protected till age 73. You can leave it in there and never pay taxes, no matter how much profit you make. We did have a fellow that turned 2 million into 30 million in crypto in a couple of years. And even though he did so, not a penny of tax while it's inside the IRA. A Roth is a type of IRA where you pay the taxes up front. You pay Uncle Sam now, and you get the advantage that after 5 years, your profits come back tax-free. We're going to have an example of that up ahead. But we're going to have Roth and traditional. That's the same price, same procedure. You just tell us if you have Roth or traditional, or if you want both, we can set you up with 2 plans. Now, there's another option here called a solo 401k. A solo 401k is not for everybody. You have to qualify. To qualify, you need to have self-employment income. You see on the left here, who qualifies? You need to have self-employment income, not a lot, $500 per year. And if you have that, even if you have a W-2 job, you have a little on the side, that's qualification number 1, but you cannot have full-time W-2 employees. If you have even one, then you can qualify for what's called a SEP IRA, but not a solo 401k. And look at some of the advantages here on the right box about a solo 401k. Whereas in an IRA, you can contribute only $6,500 if you're under 50, $6,500 per year. Contribution means the money that comes from your yearly income. You could roll over unlimiteds around. You could roll overs or unlimited, but contributions are limited to your annual income. And in an IRA, if you're under 50, it's $6,500. If you're in a 401k, it's $66,000. It's more than 10 times the potential. So that's a big advantage. You can also open up a checkbook, an account at a bank of your choice. You got checkbook control. Another advantage of the solo is you can have a loan feature. You can actually borrow from yourself $50,000 up to $50,000. You don't have the loan feature in IRA. The solo has a lot of advantage. It actually does more and costs less. We can go into more details, but I just want to give you the big picture here that it is an option. Again, if you're 1099 or you have self-employment income, it's definitely something to consider. We can talk more if you want to contact me about that. Question number 2. what's the difference between a checkbook IRA and a custodial IRA? As I mentioned, there's two types of self-directed IRAs. We've been discussing the checkbook one. That's the one on the left. Flat fees, no transaction fees, any crypto, you hold the keys. And I mentioned it's a vehicle. We're giving you the vehicle, this IRA LLC, to go on to exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken and others. That's a vehicle. In a custodial plan, there's no LLC. When you buy through a custodial-based company IRA, you give your money to the custodian, and they give you a platform. Here, we have some coins on Coinbase, or wherever it may be. We ourselves have our own platform, and we've got 10, 15 coins or 30 coins. They don't have hundreds and thousands of potentially of coins out there. They have a limited number because that's the nature of the custodial plan. I like to call it like a train. You go on the train, you got to go on the tracks. If you want to be able to drive around, you need a car. And that's what the checkbook plan is. It's an ability to drive wherever you want or can, but not with a custodial plan. You're very limited where the tracks take you. And also in its custodial plan, you've got asset-based setup fees typically. You've got asset-based transaction fees. Sometimes they charge you 1%. And if you have $1 million, you're paying more than if you have, $1,000. So that's an important difference. I mentioned the asset-based fees are great for the company. They're terrible for the investor, the IRA holder. There's a limited number of cryptos in any custodial plan. You cannot choose which crypto go onto an exchange. They tell you which exchange, and whatever that exchange has, that's it. Or they create the platform. They hold the keys. There's no private keys. When if you look at one of these competitors, and some of them got a lot of venture capital, and they're doing great in advertising and marketing. And unfortunately, we're not as well known because we don't have those $100 of million to invest in advertising. But you'll see that they're done. If you ask them if you can hold the private keys, the answer is no, they do not allow it, because they're based on the custodial self-directed IRA model, and theirs ultimately is a platform, not a vehicle. All right, so I just went into the custodial one. This slide I think should have been a little earlier there, Deborah. My fault. So that's the custodial plan. And I just described the differences. Now, at this point, you may be thinking some thoughts. I hear this question often. And the first question is, I never knew that an IRA can purchase crypto. Does the IRS allow this? And the answer is yes. The IRS, by the way, there was a landmark case in 1996 that went to the Supreme Court, and that basically allowed self-directed IRAs as we know them. But the rules in the IRS, as I mentioned earlier, they don't tell you what you can and cannot invest. They can invest, and they tell you what you can't. That means you can't invest in collectibles and life insurance. So everything else is in play. In fact, a few years ago, the IRS declared crypto to be property. So certainly, it's one of the things you're allowed to invest in. And since crypto is it's not a collectible and it's not a life insurance, so therefore you can invest in crypto. Yes. Does the IRS allow it to be held inside the LLC? And the answer is yes. LLCs, IRA LLCs have been around for a long time. We ourselves have over 20,000 clients, probably pushing 25 or more. And occasionally people get audited. No one gets, we can tell you definitively that they don't get audited because they have one of our plans, but if they get audited, as people do, we've had people audited, and the LLC has always passed with flying colors. No one's had a problem with having an IRA put money, own an LLC, and the LLC investing in all different types of things, including crypto. So that's not a problem. But since these things have been around, custodians move IRA money into LLCs all the time. And examples of assets commonly held in IRA LLCs: real estate, private placements, notes, precious metals, and crypto. So yes, bottom line, crypto can be held in an IRA LLC. By the way, let me just go back to that 1 second. I've heard people call me up and said, well, they say you can't. I asked them, who told you this? And invariably, it goes back to a company that's a custodial-based company that does not have the LLC. And it's not because of the reason they're doing this. The custodians tend to make much more money, frankly, than we do. They have an asset-based fee structure, and they're making a percentage. And even a few people that have millions and millions of dollars. I had a guy call me up, a doctor called me up, and he was just about to sign up with one of these custodial versions of things, and he thought he got a great deal. They had $1 million to invest, and they were going to charge him only 75. They took from 15%, he negotiated him down to 7.5%. That means he's about to sign up and pay $75,000 to invest $1 million in crypto. I told him our plan that you can, for about, you'll see, depending which plan it is, 11, 12, $1,300, you can sign up, flat fees, and do your $1 million and have $1 billion. It's going to be the same flat fee. So that's an important, that's a very important difference. The asset bases against kill you, and in the LLC, you don't have that problem. What are the advantages of a Roth IRA? Now, Roths, as I mentioned, Roth, you pay the money up front, and therefore, after 5 years, the rule is after 5 years, your money is tax-free. Meaning, let's see if I have the thing here. Yeah, there's a story up ahead. I'm going to have to, there's a little bit out of order here, my slide, sorry for that. I was a big skeptic of crypto up until 2017. And in 2017, one of my friends here in the office pulled me over and said, remember that guy you signed up last year? He had $92,000 of Roth. Roth means he had $90,000. It was Roth. He had paid the taxes on it. That day, my friend showed me on the screen, we were writing a check for him for $1 million, $1 million tax-free. Now, I would have been thrilled to turn 92,000 into $1 million, even paying taxes on it. You might be paying 30, 40% taxes. So you got 600,000 of your $90,000 investment. But he was smarter than that. He took 92,000 and it was Roth because he had waited for 5 years. Before he had signed up with it, they were already Roth funds, and that means he got his $1 million tax-free. That's the beauty. And that impressed upon me the power of a Roth IRA and crypto. And actually the next day I started investing in crypto because I just realized that this was real deal. I saw that money, that check go out, and I said, this is the real deal. And on top of everything, it was a Roth for this fellow. But as I mentioned, there's two types, just to give you the basic overview, the two type of funds, traditional and Roth. Traditional is tax deferred, Roth are tax free. In Roth, your principal is tax free and your profit is tax free. So this guy's 92,000. Not only was the 92,000 tax free, but he made 908,000. That also was tax free. Every penny that came back tax free. And there's the story of Joe, quote unquote. He made his $1 million in tax free and his Bitcoin flat rate IRA. Okay, so how long does the process take? Now, it could vary depending on who's holding your funds. Different institutions work at different speeds. I usually tell people about 2 weeks. Sometimes it's a week. Sometimes it's 3 weeks. But it takes us about 2 weeks to set this up. There's also an extra factor here. Here's you see in the second bullet, speed of the current IRA custodian is a contributor in the process of the transfer or rollover. Opting for standard processing, we have an option to expedite. We don't charge extra for expediting, but when you pay in full, we expedite. And then there are different exchanges. There are different exchanges that you can set this up at. We actually have an insider at Kraken. And Kraken we found to be the most efficient, and you can set up in a Kraken account with one of our LLCs in about same day. So once it takes let's say 2 weeks to move your money over to put it into an LLC at a bank of your choice, you can set up that LLC typically the same day at Kraken, and then within 2 weeks, you're buying crypto inside this LLC. Other places are longer. Some places are very long. Some places, instead of 2 weeks, it'll take a month, 2 months, or more. So you'll talk to us at the time. We'll have current information about which are the best exchanges. But certainly since we've been doing this, Kraken we found to be the most user-friendly and the fastest. Question number 3. What is the process? So we mentioned that the process takes about a week, 2, 3 weeks. Let's just briefly talk about the mechanics of how that works. First, on the left there, Broad Financial creates an IRA LLC and sends it to you. Number 2, you take the IRA LLC and open it at the bank of your choice. Number 3, our sister company, or the branch of our company called Madison Trust, moves your IRA money into the IRA LLC at that bank. Number 4, you open up an IRA LLC at an exchange and move it in there, like Kraken or Coinbase and others. You set up the LLC. It's not a you'll call us and we have some good guidance on this. But if you're familiar with these exchanges, you've probably set it up, but they're at a personal. You have a personal account. Well, we're going to show you how to do it to set up this LLC in an institutional account. But same account, same exchange, a different type of account, and the same interface to buy and sell the crypto, but it's in an LLC inside an institutional account. But you can choose that. There are a number of exchanges that do these. And last but not least, buy and sell your crypto of your choice, all tax sheltered. Again, tax sheltered can mean 2 things. A traditional IRA is tax-free and a Roth is tax. So traditional IRA is tax deferred. You can defer the taxes till age 73, and then it's tax-free if it's a Roth after 5 years of holding. And lastly, who are we? Who are we at Broad Financial? We've been around since 2009. That's 10 plus years in the industry. I'm almost 10 plus years in the industry. So Broad Financial is older than me. than my experience here. 20,000 plus clients. I haven't actually, I might be able to update that. I think we hit 25 already or more. Now, 8+ customer support. There's major companies that rate companies like us, Better Business Bureau, Google, Yelp. There's something called Shoppers Approved, and they rate clients. So we have amongst the highest ratings that you could have on each of these places, but we have something that that others in our industry do not have, or not to the degree that we have it, and that's testimonials. We actually have, between Broad and Financial and Madison Trust, we have more than 1,000 testimonials. And if you look them up, I always encourage people to look them up. You'll see that they're really fantastic testimonials. And we do try to be number one in the industry in customer support and customer service. And I think the testimonials are testimonial to that. By the way, I just found out last week that we won an award for the best place to work in New Jersey. So we have across the board, we want to make our clients happy, we want to make our employees happy, and it is really an excellent company when it comes to support and service. And then again, Broad Financial is the checkbook arm of this group, and Madison Trust is the custodial arm. And Madison itself has over $4 billion in assets under management. How much does Broad Financial have in assets under management? Zero. Why zero? Because we don't hold anybody's funds. Our purpose of a checkbook plan is to move the money from Madison out of Madison's hands and then into your own hands at a bank. But many people do, like if a person wants to do an investment into like a private hedge fund, they only need a Madison account. They don't need the LLC. And Madison overall has over $4 billion of assets in management, under management for such people. Okay, FAQ. Let's see how this works. Great. Excellent. Excellent. Can I roll over a 401k into an IRA LLC? And the answer is yes. Yes. Almost any retirement account can be rolled over. Now, by the way, you do have to check out if it's with your company that you currently work. If a company is sponsored a 401k and you still work there, often they do not allow you to roll it out. That's an important consideration. We don't have any control. You'll have to ask the people there, like an HR. But I guess Jazzy could tell you for you guys. But in general, that's the rule. While you work there could be a limitation in billing, and they sponsor the 401k. There could be a limitation in moving it out. What if I decide later to invest in something other than cryptocurrency? Not a problem. It gives you all that choice I mentioned earlier. The same IRA LLC allows you to own crypto and other things, real estate, private companies, tax liens, hard money loans, etc. Next question. If I already own crypto, can I place it in my IRA LLC? So the answer is no. You can only buy the crypto with an IRA account, and then it can stay in there and move into a private wallet, but you can't take existing crypto or anything, real estate or cash, and put it in an IRA. Otherwise, billionaires would make $1 billion deal, make a profit, and before they have to pay taxes, they put it in an IRA. So again, if you have some crypto outside the IRA and it was not purchased with an IRA initially, it cannot be put into an IRA at that point in any way, shape, or form. Last question here, is there a minimum amount of cryptocurrency that I must purchase for a retirement account? And the answer is no with Broad Financial. Some companies do have a limited amount. It could be 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. But and that's because they're making their money on an asset-based fee. They're a percentage. They don't want people that have $2,000, or $1,000. We're fine. Well, I remember one of my clients, he just graduated college and he put his first $2,500 check into a Broad Financial account. So we don't have any minimum amount that you need to invest in. Madison Trust does have a $500 minimum, but in terms of investing, nothing, zero.